Deep within the steaming jungles of Cambodia, where the tree roots twist through ancient stone and the mist clings to the ruins like a shroud of memory, lies one of the most awe-inspiring monuments ever constructed by human hands, Angkor Wat, the world's largest religious temple, a sprawling city of stone rising from the earth like a dream carved into reality, built not as a mere place of worship but as a cosmic mountain, a bridge between the mortal and divine, an architectural testament to ambition, devotion, and human ingenuity, stretching across more than 400 acres of moats, towers, corridors, and galleries etched with thousands of intricate carvings, each telling stories of gods, demons, celestial dancers, and earthly kings. Yet despite its scale, its mastery, and its profound spiritual symbolism, it lies today in silence, no longer at the center of an empire, its monks long gone, its towers crumbling under time's slow breath, and the world left to wonder, how could such a magnificent place, the very heart of the Khmer Empire, the peak of Southeast Asian civilization, be abandoned, left to be consumed by vines and forgotten for centuries, and the truth, as it slowly emerges from the combined efforts of archaeologists, historians, climate scientists, and spiritual scholars, is more complex, more tragic, and more sobering than any single explanation. Beginning nearly 1,000 years ago in the early 12th century, when King Suryavarman II, a brilliant warrior and visionary ruler, ordered the construction of Angkor Wat as a temple dedicated to Vishnu, the preserver god in Hindu belief, diverging from the previous kings who had worshipped Shiva, and unlike other temples built as homes for deities, Angkor Wat was constructed as a funerary temple for the king himself, a celestial palace to ensure his soul's journey into the next life, and the design reflected the Hindu cosmology, the five towers mimicking Mount Meru, the sacred mountain at the center of the universe, the moats symbolizing the cosmic oceans, the concentric galleries representing the various levels of existence, and as construction unfolded using sandstone blocks hauled from distant quarries, transported on rafts down rivers and lifted by sheer manpower, an entire empire mobilized behind the project, with sculptors, masons, laborers, and priests creating not just a temple but an entire sacred city, a place of pilgrimage, power, and politics, where king and god merged, and for a time, Angkor Wat thrived as the centerpiece of the Khmer Empire, an empire that at its height stretched across modern-day Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam, known for its hydraulic engineering, vast rice paddies, and grand urban planning. Yet even as it stood in glory, the seeds of its decline were quietly being sown, and by the end of the 12th century, under King Jayavarman VII, the empire underwent a profound transformation as Buddhism replaced Hinduism as the dominant state religion, leading to the construction of new temples such as Bayon and Ta Prohm, filled with serene Buddhas rather than wrathful gods, and Angkor Wat, though never destroyed, began to lose its central role, gradually repurposed as a Buddhist site, its original identity slowly eroding, and while religious transformation played a role. The far more insidious causes of Angkor's abandonment were environmental and political, for the city of Angkor was not just a collection of temples, it was a complex urban and agricultural system dependent on a sophisticated network of canals, reservoirs, and water management systems to irrigate rice fields and sustain hundreds of thousands of people, a hydraulic city whose survival hinged on the delicate balance between human engineering and the rhythms of nature, and recent research using satellite imagery and sediment cores has revealed that this balance was fatally disrupted by a series of devastating climate events. Prolonged droughts in the 14th and 15th centuries followed by intense monsoons that overwhelmed the infrastructure, caused massive erosion, and crippled the water system, leaving the population vulnerable to famine, disease, and social unrest, and as the environment collapsed, so too did the political unity of the empire, internal revolts, weakening royal authority, external invasions by Siamese forces, and a gradual shift of trade routes toward coastal regions all contributed to the slow disintegration of the Angkorian civilization, until by the 15th century, the capital was abandoned. The jungle crept in, and Angkor Wat stood as a spectral memory of a lost world, visited only by local monks and villagers who maintained its sanctity in quiet obscurity until its rediscovery by the Western world in the 19th century when French explorers stumbled upon its towers and were stunned into silence, describing it as a rival to the greatest wonders of Greece and Rome, and thus the temple, once abandoned by kings, found a second life as an object of fascination, a symbol of lost grandeur, an exotic mystique. But beneath the romanticism lies the true tragedy and warning of Angkor Wat, that no matter how mighty an empire, no matter how divine a king claims to be, it remains vulnerable to the earth, the sky, and the limits of its own design, and as modern scientists continue to uncover new facets of the site, underground cities, hidden chambers, evidence of collapse, they also reveal the fragile interdependence between society and environment, reminding us that Angkor did not fall in a single battle or overnight conquest but gradually faded under the weight of internal decay and ecological failure. A fate that echoes eerily with our own modern challenges of climate change, urban overreach, and unsustainable growth. And yet Angkor Wat endures, not only in stone but in spirit, still revered as a Buddhist sanctuary, still etched with the smiles of Apsaras and the epic battles of the Ramayana. Still rising each dawn with the silhouette of eternity, and perhaps that is the paradox that makes it so powerful, a monument built to ensure a king's immortality, abandoned by history, but resurrected by time, standing as both a relic and a prophecy, whispering to every visitor not just of what was lost but of what we must protect if we hope to avoid a similar fate. For Angkor Wat is not just a wonder of the ancient world, it is a mirror to the impermanence of power, the cost of forgetting, harmony with nature, and the haunting beauty that remains when civilization falls silent and the jungle sings its slow song of return.